Hey guys, it's Mr. Lauer here. I just wanted to kind of get you started on your homework. We talked about the focal form equations for parabolas. So this homework will just kind of give you some practice with that. I went through several examples with you in the previous videos, so most of this first page I'm pretty sure you can do on your own here. Identify the vertex of each parabola. We did a few of those in the videos. I did several examples of those. Find the vertex and determine the direction it will open. We talked about that as well. And then down here we got find the focal width of the parabola and P, the distance from vertex to focus. All of which we covered in the video, and I did I think 4 of each of those. So I think that should help you get started. The first page here shouldn't be too bad. I wanted to look a little bit more toward the second page and kind of get you started on some of these here. So we're going to pick one of these. I'm going to do number 16 with you here, and we're just going to work through each of these pieces. All these pieces are going to help us graph this parabola. Okay. The first thing we need to look at is the direction that this parabola opens. So what we want to notice is that the y piece is being squared. There's the y in there with the -1. This is the piece that's being squared, which means this is going to be a horizontally opening parabola. It's either going to open up to the right or it's going to open up to the left. So it's either this guy or this guy. And we know that because the y is being squared versus the x being squared. Now this negative here, this is like the 4p piece, since that's negative, that means it's going to be going in the negative direction. So the negative horizontal direction would be this left opening one. So this guy's going to open left. Okay, we've done examples like that before, but we're going to put it all together here. Okay, in the next piece, we're going to find the vertex, which we know comes from the numbers inside the parentheses. Since the number, we have x minus 3 here, the number inside with x is a -3, we're going to put a +3 down here for our x coordinate of our vertex, and then we're going to put a +1 here for the y coordinate of our vertex. Okay. Focal width is just going to be basically the positive version of this number, the absolute value of whatever's out there. In this case, 12. Okay. And then the distance from vertex to focus, P, that's always going to be 1/4 of this number. So remember that this guy is like -4p right here, this -12. So if we want just p by itself, we need to divide by 4. So I'm going to take this number, this focal width, divide it by 4, and then I'm going to get p, which is the distance from the vertex to the focus. It also happens to be the distance between the vertex and the directrix. So we're actually going to use that number a couple different places. Okay. Now, finding the directrix, or the focus and the directrix, are a little bit tricky without using a graph. So I'm actually going to put all this stuff on the graph, and that's going to help me kind of figure out these last two. You can definitely do it without graphing it, but for me, I kind of like putting it on a graph so I can start visualizing it. Let's start with the vertex. So that's at 3, 1. That's going to go right about there. We also know this guy's going to open to the left. So we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I'm just going to put like a couple lines here. Now I'm doing this in pencil because I'm actually going to come erase these later. But I want to know that it opens to the left so that I kind of know where to put my focus and directrix. Okay, so it's going to open to the left. We know that. Focal width is 12. We're going to come back to that later. Let's use the P, the distance from vertex to focus, because then my next step is to find the focus. So here's the vertex. The focus has to be this way, right? If the parabola opens up to the left, then the focus is going to be to the left of the vertex. So that's going to be 3 units, 1, 2, 3, to the left of wherever the vertex is. Okay. Let me get in a little bit closer for you. All right. Now the next thing we want to do is find the directrix here, and that's going to be the same distance away from this guy. So we're going to go in this direction, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to grab our directrix. Okay. Now we just have to kind of write down the point here. So the point that we put our focus at was 0, 1. And then the equation for the directrix is going to be x equals 6. x because we're crossing the x-axis and we're crossing it at 6. So x equals 6 is the equation for a vertical line that crosses the x-axis at 6. Okay, now we just got to go back and make our parabola look a little bit better. We know that it has a focal width of 12. So we need to go back and actually make sure it has the right focal width. So what the focal width measures the width of the parabola, but that line that we use to measure it goes through the focus. That's why it's called the focal width. So if we want our focal width to be 12, that means from the focus, we need to count out 6 in this direction and 6 in this direction. And those will give us 2 other points on our parabola here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's a point on our parabola. I'm going to erase this because this no longer is accurate. Okay, and then also from the focus, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if this is the vertex and this is the focus, this is also another point on our parabola. It's going to open up something like this. Okay, now we don't have to be exactly perfect, but there's a couple things that should be perfect in this case. One of them is the focal width, right? Make sure we have the right focal width, check. We want to make sure we have our focus and our directrix, or excuse me, focus, directrix, and then our vertex here. So that's a pretty good graph. And that's kind of how you do it. So it's not too much more than what we've seen before. It's just kind of an extension of what I did in the example problems. You're just going to find some of the similar things, and then you just kind of keep going and you kind of figure out what that's actually going to look like. Okay, let's do one more. So there's a few of those. Now the answer key, I put up the odds for you. The answer key is not going to have any of these though, because I custom made these, and it's difficult to put in all of these answers just the way I formatted it. So I gave you one. You can kind of check there, and then you can just kind of compare it to the first one I did, but there's a good example for you. We're going to jump to back here, and we're going to look at number, let's do 25. Okay, so the directions for 25, let's go back up real quick. It says, for each parabola, write an equation in focal form. The point and the line shown are the focus and directrix. So this is going to be like the opposite of what we just did, right? We're going to go backwards. When we're going to write an equation in focal form, the first thing we're going to have to determine is the direction, because that will tell us which equation we're supposed to use. So this guy's obviously going down. Okay. If we're going down, that tells me the template that I need to use. Remember, there's 4 different versions of the focal form of the equation. This is going to have to be an x squared parabola because it's going down. So it's going to have to be x minus h squared, right? The x piece is on the left, the x piece is being squared. And then since it's going down, I need a negative 4p, okay? And then I'm going to have the y minus k piece. So that's the template that I'm working with. And there's 4 different ones that we talked about in the videos that you're going to have to kind of know. The only difference between the up one is you don't have a negative here, and then for the sideways ones, the left and right, you have y minus k on this side, and then the x minus h is over here. So this is what we need. Now, we have our equation. We just need to fill in some of the pieces. So we need h and k, which is our vertex. That's not too bad. And then we just need p, which is the distance from the vertex to the focus. So that shouldn't be too hard. So let's go ahead and find the vertex. If this is the focus, then the vertex has to be right here. And that's, the tip of our parabola. And that point is 0, 3. So 0, 3 is our vertex, which means that's our h and our k. So when we put those pieces in, we're going to have x minus 0 squared equals negative 4p times y minus 3. And we need to get that p in there. So let's look at how far away the vertex is from the focus. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 away. Okay, and then up here 1, 2, 3, 4. The directrix is also 4 away from the vertex, which we expect as well. Okay, so p is going to be 4 then, which means I'm going to have, just simplifying here, x squared, because I don't need the x minus 0, equals negative 4 times 4, because now p is equal to 4. Right? So negative 4 times 4 is going to be negative 16. And then y minus 3. Okay, so now that I've kind of multiplied these two, I can see that my focal width should be 16. So if I go back and I'd like kind of check to see that that's the right focal width, here's the focus. Make sure that my graph is 16 wide at the focus. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so it's 8 in this direction, 8 in this direction. That makes a total of 16. So yeah, our focal width is right on the money. We got our vertex in there. We got the distance from vertex to focus, which is p. This is going to be our equation right there. So for these other three, you're going to just do a similar process. You got to start with the template, right? Figure out which version of the equation you're using. Is the x part being squared? Is the y part being squared? Do you have a negative 4p? Do you have a positive 4p? And then from there, you just fill in the pieces. You need h, you need k, and you need p, which is going to come from the vertex and also the distance between vertex and focus. So that should get you started. Like I said, the first page should be fairly straightforward, fairly doable for you. The questions that I was kind of concerned about there, I knew were going to be a little bit trickier. We just did an example of each of those. So that should help you get started. Good luck. I hope you guys are doing really well out there and staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.